Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miguel here. I wanted to make this video to answer some of the questions I've been getting on my other YouTube video where I go in depth about the science about my recovery. A lot of you guys seem to have gotten a lot of value out of that, and it seems like it really helped, which is great to hear. It makes me want to continue doing these kind of videos. So this video, I want to touch on a subject: how do you keep pushing and going forward, and not so much pushing, but how do you keep a positive mindset when everything seems to be going wrong, when you're feeling like crap, when you're getting frustrated, when you're in a dark time, when you're sick and you feel like giving up. Because realistically, I'm actually sitting right in front of my grandparents' house. This is where I spent a full 8 months, right in that room up there, right where you see that window. I was in that room. I left maybe twice a month to go get IVs from the doctors. I pretty much lived a full 8 months in that room. There were some very dark times, but there were also some moments of inspiration during those times. And so for me, when things got really bad, I totally know what it feels like. You feel like you're alone, you're scared, frustrated, angry, confused. No one understands what you're going through, or even if they wanted to, even if they really do care about you, they can't possibly understand what you're going through because you don't even understand what you're going through. There's nothing you could ever compare it to. Toby from CFS Health said it well. You feel like you just ran a marathon. You feel like you've just been hit by a bus, and you feel like you've just been drinking all night and you have the worst hangover of your life. Take those three things, multiply times 10. That's how you feel in the crash when you're doing bad. So what really kept me going, I had to pretty much find a reason larger than myself. I had to look outside of myself for inspiration, because it got to the point where times were so hard and times are so dark that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm fighting so hard, trying my best, but I'm only getting worse, and it's not worth fighting for anymore, at least not for me. But when I really thought about it, the people around me who were helping me during those times and kind of keeping me alive, really cooking for me every day, feeding me when I couldn't even lift a spoon off a plate. I was fighting for those people who wanted to see me get better and were doing everything they could to get better, so that I could get better. And so I was doing it for them. I was doing it for my parents, my close friends, family, especially the people closest to me, because when I saw how hard they were working, a lot of times, of course, you feel bad. You feel like a burden on everybody. I was in my early 20s at the time, and my grandparents, who were in their 70s, helping me walk, helping me go to the washroom, when really it should be the other way around. And for people like us, type A personality people, that's a really hard reality to face. That's a hard pill to swallow. To be that vulnerable and that helpless, it does not feel good. And words can't describe how that feels. So you need to do it for those people. It's something bigger than yourself. Not only that, but envisioning the future. So for me, a majority of the time that I was sick, I was just living in my mind, and I was daydreaming, and I was envisioning what I would want my life to be like the day I did get better, if I ever got better. I would journal almost every day about my thoughts, what I was feeling, my emotions, and things I wanted to do in the future if I ever got the chance to do it again. If that 1% chance that I did get better, if that came true, I wanted to be ready to be able to do all those things. And 3.5 years later, I'm sitting here perfectly healthy, and I'm happy to say that a lot of those things that I wish I did, that I had on my bucket list when I was sick, I've done a lot of them. Traveling with my girlfriend, being in a decent position financially, being able to spend time with the people I care about and closest to me. Those are things that were on my bucket list, and they all came true. So really thinking about the future and envisioning living in this kind of fantasy world in my mind of what life could be like. You're literally living in two worlds. One is the real world where it's horrible, and the other is, your fantasy land in your mind. During those dark times, you're forced to retreat into your mind, and you're forced to go deep into the darkest corners of your mind you never ever really get access to. But that's when you find out about your true self. That's where you find out who you really are, without any of, your past, without any of the labels, without any, awards or things you have to your name. Your name doesn't even exist. You realize that there's a whole nother world inside. But if you can flip that switch and just try to envision what that future is going to look like, that's going to help inspire you. And write it down, because one day when you do get better, you're going to look back on what you wrote and you're going to be like, man, that was an epic story. I still have journals to this day where I felt like giving up, where I was the most scared I've ever been, where I have things I wrote down that came true, and it's just so epic. So, this is part of your journey. Just understand that the more you envision and think about that future, the more real it becomes, and it'll keep you from losing that hope. So, number one, find a purpose bigger than yourself. Purpose like your family, your loved ones, people around you. And number two is paint that picture for your future. This is a time to reinvent yourself and reinvent your future. And I strongly believe that for people who have gone through this illness and came out the other side successful and got better, they'll tell you it was the best thing that ever happened to them, because it made them reshape the way they think. And in a sense, they were kind of reborn. I know I was. So that's all I wanted to share today. It's a quick video. How to get through hard times, how to keep pushing when, you're just hitting wall after wall after wall, setback after setback, when you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and you're just repeating that cycle, and it gets frustrating and you want to give up. Have that place inside where there is still hope and you have that picture of your future, because one day, if you stick with it and you get through this thing, I shouldn't say if, when you get through this thing, you'll look back and be like, damn, I did it. So if you got some value out of this video, just hit that like button, comment down below any other videos you want to see. I actually really enjoy making these kind of videos. It's kind of a way to give back to the people who are on this journey that I went on, and I know how bad it can be. So just comment down below what other videos you want to see, and if you want to reach out to me directly, then hit me up on Instagram. My name is Miguel Bautista Media. You'll see I run a video production company. There's a bunch of video posts on that page, but that's me. I'm putting together a kind of program or mini course, or some kind of package to give to you guys to help you on your journey to recovery. Maybe you're watching this in the future where I do have that program, but I am working on it. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay strong. Keep going. You could do it. I was someone who went from completely bedridden to having to learn how to use a wheelchair, to a walker, to walking, to hiking up a mountain in Hawaii a year later. So if I can do it, you can do it. Bye now.